Hello, hello. Welcome in. Tonight we have Big Vale and Agester from, which I'm probably saying wrong. He's probably going, first thing he's going to do is correct me on how I'm pronouncing it. But Agester from Clash Champs, the legend that is Clash Champs. So let's get them on. That seems like the best plan, doesn't it? So here we go. Let's hope this works. There we are. Oh, and I've screwed it up, and mate, you're covering the chat. All right, I'm gonna have to move you over, mate. Can't believe you're getting in the way of the chat like that.
We've literally just spent an hour getting this set up.
Yeah.
This honestly, man. Honestly.
There we go. We're just making Agester a wee bit skinny. Agester, am I saying your name right? Is that how it comes? Is that correct?
You actually said it correctly. Most people say Agester, but Agester is actually right.
It's some sort of weird Scottish translation I've made of it there. BV, obviously, I mean, like, we just say BV. So does anyone, how often do you get called Valley? How long do you get called Big Valley?
Every time I go into someone else's stream. So it's always the case. I don't know, because like Vale is an English word, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's Valley the pro player that sort of throws people off a little bit. So yeah, it happens more often than I like, to be honest, mate.
One day, you'll be the bigger name, and people will start calling Valley Vale, like I did, because I'm from the UK and I read Vale. I read Valley as Vale. That's just how it was. Anyway,
you have more faith in me than I do, Mack.
Also, by the way, guys, a wee bit of a treat for yous. I've put a couple of emotes on. For you. Obviously, we've got the Clash Champs logo, because I felt that was appropriate. And I didn't put any Big Vales in, because I'm hoping that Big Vale subs are going to be in here and they're going to be smashing them. But yeah, we've also... I got this one, which I've called Champ Man. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on screen now, but there you go. Agester looking fine. There you go. So that I'll pass that on to you. You can have that. You've got an emote now, bouncing all over the screen.
That's his modelling photo, isn't it? That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is perfect. Judo's in the chat as well. Judo, we was on last week. Welcome to the chat, Judo. Welcome to the stream. Happy days. That's awesome. And the only reason I saw that is because Prestoon's gone mad for Judo, so there we go. Right, let's get on with some questions. That seems like a good place to start, doesn't it? Every week, I'm asking sort of very similar questions right at the start, just some quick fire questions. We'll start with Vale. If we start with you, and then Agester, if you just answer after, and that'll keep it nice and slick. Because the amount of times I've got two people on, and I ask a question, and they both are being very polite, and no one speaks, and it's very confusing. So we'll go for that order, right? So when did you guys first start playing? That's a good place to start. We'll start with you, Big Vale.
Yeah, I started in December 2012. I know the exact date, but I'm not going to give it away because, I don't want anyone hacking my account. But yeah, December 2012, pretty much right at the start when it first came out in the UK.
Nice. I was a wee bit later than that. I basically saw the adverts. It was TV advertising that got me. That was the cartoons.
One.
No, before that, the cartoon ones of like the wizard and the hat and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, what about you, Agester? When did you start playing?
I don't remember exact date, but I can tell you right when they came out with Clan Wars. So that's exactly like they literally just launched it, and that's when I joined. I was playing Boom Beach actually before that. My brother, taught me, he's like, man, you need to put that aside. You got to play Clash of Clans. It's way better. And so I gave it a try, and obviously got hooked.
I've played Boom Beach for a while. I started that game after discovering Clash of Clans. I thought, I'm going to try some of these other games, and I tried Boom Beach. And I think I don't think I quite joined the right group or task force or whatever they were called in that game. Never quite got into it, but yeah, that's cool. Do you still play Agester? Because obviously we know that Vale plays because we see him attacking on stream. But do you still play much, or are you?
I don't play as much as I used to. I still do, being part of the creator program, we get access to try new things. Those things are exciting, and I jump on to test things for the website, if I'm working with the API or, those kind of things, or to see how things, go. I went all the way up to an 11, and then at that time, Clash Champs took off. We had Clash School coming out, and then we just had so many massive projects that with the competitive side of me, I had to focus on these projects that were blowing up. So that was kind of my path. But I still played. I'm still part of the scene. I'm very involved with our pro team, and all, various things with the community and whatnot.
Cool. What's your favorite town hall, Vale?
Oh, God. I don't know, it's a tough one. So I've recently started my Project BVOP clan like 3 months ago, I think it is now. So
Good plug, yep.
Before that, I had a Town Hall 14, obviously Big Vale, Town Hall 13, which is Maverick. Now I've got a Town Hall 10, which I actually really do like Town Hall 10. It's I suppose when the difficulty level steps up a massive notch when you introduce Infernos into the game. But I think Town Hall 9, actually, I really enjoy the most. So it's where you start getting more versatility in your attacks. You're not relying entirely on, I don't know, Peckers and Hogs like you were at Town Hall 8, or maybe even Zap Drag. At Town Hall 9, you've got a whole plethora of different armies opened up to you. And, of course, different base layouts. You've got a lot more strategy, but it's not a super high skill cap, so you can still have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, okay, cool. No, that makes sense. What about you, Agester?
I mean, I agree with his assessment. Nines, obviously, a lot of things start changing at 9. You got the Inferno Towers and stuff like that come out afterwards and whatnot. It's a different kind of skill set. But I have mad respect for whatever the max Town Hall is at the time. There's so many things that go into just knowing the meta. How to it just keeps getting more and more complicated as it keeps getting bigger. So I just have mad respect for whatever the latest Town Hall is at the time. Just watching Clash Worlds and all the different pro players. It's amazing. Even the coding side of it, because I'm a coder, and so just the respect to what's been built is it's awesome.
Cool. That's good. What about favourite strategies then? What's your Vale BV? Have you got a new favourite, or are you going back to the Town Hall 10 sort of?
Well, I mean, since the Dragon Riders come out, it's given me a ton of opportunities for content. So from a YouTube perspective, and I guess we're going to come on to that in a bit.
Yeah,
I've been having a lot of fun with different strategies using Dragon Riders. So I'm feeling like if you'd have asked me pre-summer update, it probably would have still been Blizz Dragloon. I think that would have been my favourite. Now I'm leaning more towards a Queen Charge Dragon Rider. That one's a lot of fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
What about you,
You're not
Agester?
skillful enough for it, but I can teach you one day.
I would say, I don't know. Just, when I look at, I'm a stats guy too. When I looked at, a hybrid, with balloons or some sort is always, I think, one of the most powerful strategies you can go with. I don't have one per se, but if I had to go with any kind of attack, it would be, a ground, then mixed with air.
Cool. And then the final one, moving away from Clash a little bit, where did your names that you go by come from? I think I can guess your one, Big Vale, but explain it. Let's see if I'm right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you probably can. So it's football related or soccer if you're American. But yeah, my local football team's called Port Vale, and I can't call myself just Vale because there's already one. And when I named myself that, I'd never heard of Valet before because it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I figured, what should I put before it? And Big, because it sounds cool, doesn't it? So yeah, that's basically it. Just Big Vale, Port Vale.
You are tall as well, yeah. I mean, because this is the hardest. So I'm not very tall. But I met Clash with Style in Edinburgh. He's quite tall, by the way, and he looks small because he's tiny on my phone. But are you tall, Big Vale?
Yeah, 6'1", tallish. Not a giant or anything, but
6'1's pretty tallish. I'd call that tallish. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah, I mean, compared to a hobbit, yeah. But...
Yeah. Agester, what about you?
Agester, actually, my very first game that I got into the competitive side multiplayer was Age of Empires. I played the entire series, so I was just all over it, and so I just like outside gamers are like just they just call me Age, and then I went with Agester, and then that's kind of how it formed. And speaking of which, I can't wait for Age of Empires 4 to come out in the fall. I'm so stoked. It's been like over 20 years since the last one.
Ah, cool. That's cool.
They still make Age of Empires. I honestly thought they'd given up on that franchise.
In 20 years. And so it's, so there's a fourth one about to come out. The graphics look amazing on it. I can't wait.
20
I
years
hope
in the
they do the
making.
same with. I want them to do the same with Command and Conquer. So when I was younger, that's what I used to spend all my
Command and
time
Conquer
on.
was so good. So
Yeah.
me and my
Right.
mate had a PlayStation each, and we brought them. So this was like before internet gaming, and he had his PlayStation, and you could link them up, so you could be on the same map playing against each other. And we had 2 tellies and 2 PlayStations, and it was amazing. And Command and Conquer, Red Alert, that's what it was. It was so
Yeah.
good. It was such a good game. Anyway, sorry, gone off topic. So the Worlds happened this weekend. We're going to move on to that now. That's the intro is done. Thank you very much, guys. On to the Worlds this weekend. Have you got any sort of you guys got any? Have you been able to catch much of it? It's in the middle of the night, or quite late on for us. I don't know if you caught any of it, Vale.
No, I was asleep, mate. It was awful timing. So yeah, I was with my head on my pillow during it, so I don't even know who won.
Oh, right, okay. So we'll go through people that got knocked out. That was a bit of a surprise.
We got knocked out.
Yeah.
Twice top 32, and then we got kicked out.
Oh,
By
nightmare.
MCS both times.
Well, I better go change this top then. I'm not repping Clash Champs if that's the case. I'm joking. I love
MCS
Clash
twice.
Yeah.
MCS not into the final 6. No Queen Walkers again. Queen Walkers really seem to be struggling to adjust from that 13 to 14 step. A big weekend for Asian teams. There was quite a few Asian teams, and I'll go through the list in a second. And no Space Station Gaming. So 2 of the final day teams. Well, obviously, and Alternate Attacks obviously weren't there because they've got golden ticket. But the silver ticket winner and the potential to get the silver ticket if MCS were to win. MCS were kind of the team that were tipped for the golden ticket this weekend, and or next weekend, and they're not through either. So no SSG, no Queen Walkers, no MCS. I'm sure there's others that I've forgotten, but they were the ones that really jumped out at me as not being in the mix. What I'm going to do, guys, I'll bring up a little bracket now, which you'll be able to see on screen. That's famous last words, isn't it? There we go. Oh, that's not right. 2 seconds. We can make this work. There we go. So we've got it there. Got a wee bit of advertising going on. H-Star, I managed to chop your head right off. What I'll do is I'll try and move this just slightly. Yeah, just if you just lean up a little bit. There we go. Right, what we'll do is I'll put it underneath me. There we go. I'll cut it down. We can get rid of that. So this is the bracket as it looks for next weekend. You can see we've got first place seed was Team Elevate. The former Eve team, they're now got a new name, and then we had Darkest Muzan in as the second seed, so they're waiting for the first 2 teams to take the first 2 matches to take place. We've got KOG and NY Amazing. Now NY Amazing are the new name of AS something. Oh man, that's going to be difficult, isn't it? But NY Amazing, AS Godliness, thank you Fluxy, legend, thank you. I knew someone would help me out there. I was proper floundering there for a second. I think they've picked up some sort of sponsorship deal, so they've got a name change there. And then we've got Tom and I, who were nowhere near last month, and they're in it. And then HT Family as well, the E-Drag, Infernal Drag specialists. So I thought what we'd do for a little bit of fun, well, first of all, reactions to that, what do you guys think? Any surprises in there?
I love seeing HT Family in there. We're good partners with them over at Clash Champs, and I wasn't familiar with the was it Topane Empire, and I saw all the different people that are playing on it. So it looks like former Team Queso and Existence. And you got
Rigo Torres is sort of like
a strong team.
Rigo and Almi Allen and that sort of thing. Those sort of players in there. KOG used to have a different name as well, I think. But yeah, they've. I don't know if anyone's jumping out as sort of really strong players of their BV. Are you thinking anything in there?
I mean, I'm surprised to see Darkest Mooseland in there. They've not been performing too well of late. Elevate, I'm really happy to see in there. So
yeah,
really chuffed about that. And Tom and I, big fan of those guys, big fan. So Rigo is a good guy. Almuralin, I've had a fair bit to do with in the past as well. And yeah, they're a great bunch of guys. They work hard, and yeah, it's good to see them getting the success that they had with Existence and translating it over to Tompanai.
Happy days. Right, so now we have to come. This is going to be difficult, but we need to decide on a prediction. See all the red? We're going to make all that red turn blue. So we're going to make a prediction together. I'm going to also put in the link to this bracket on challenge that anyone else that wants to can put a wee a prediction out as well. Doing too many things. Should have had that set up. There we go. So first one, KOG versus NY Amazing or AS Godliness. What are we thinking? KOG or Godliness? What do we think?
For me, I don't know anything about Godliness, so I'm going to go KOG because, better the devil you know, isn't it? So yeah, I'll go with them.
I agree with that assessment. I don't know about either one of them, so that sounds good.
Yeah, for me, it's KOG's. AS Godliness, I mean, and because I didn't watch any of it, I don't know. But yeah, so we're all in agreement. Let's chuck KOG forward, put them in against Team Elevate. And then the next one we can see we've got Tompanai versus HT Family. This is an interesting one. This might split based on what we were just talking about there. This might split us. What are we thinking? Tompanai or HT?
If I were to put money on it, I would go with Tompanai Empire. But my love and my heart goes with HT Family.
See, I'm the other way around. If I went with my heart, it'd be Tompanai Empire. If I went with putting money on it, I go with HT Family. So
that's up to Mac then.
Oh, what?
So.
Right, I've got it. Oh man, okay. Right. I prefer the style of Tompanai, but HT Family.
Just any of us decide, just make a decision, man.
Just seem to smash through.
HT Family always just makes it right near the top every time. So I'm gonna pull for.
Yeah, I'm putting them in. There we go. Right, okay. So now we've got Elevate versus KOG. Up the top there. Who are we picking from that?
I'll take Team Elevate.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. And then what are we thinking? Muzan, Darkest Muzan versus HT Family.
Sounds good. We'll go with Muzan. We already gave HT Family some love.
Yeah.
Are you agreeing, Bill? Yeah.
I mean, I do like Darkest Muzan. They've been underperforming, but it's about time they made it, and I think they deserve a place in the world. So yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, cool. And then right, so you can see down the bottom there. I've just chopped the bottom of that bracket off just a little bit. But we've got the sort of the losers bracket. HT Family versus NY Amazing. What are we saying there?
HT Family.
Yep.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Family's gonna be more love.
Because we don't know who NY Amazing are.
Yeah, so they're
amazing.
Yeah, they are amazing. That's what I've heard.
HT are a family Agester. So
yeah.
So now we have another rematch between the Tompanai Empire and HT Family again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Are we saying Tompanai, yeah? Beating KOG.
Definitely.
Okay, and then so the second bite, are HT going to beat them the second time, or do we share the love and give Tompanai the edge this time?
Tompanai the love.
I'd go
We're
with
putting real sort of methodical planning going into this.
There you go.
And right again, Elevate versus Darkest Muzan. Then who are we thinking?
I want Elevate.
Is that what you're thinking, Ashton, as well?
Yeah, I think Muzan.
Controversial.
Mac.
I've got to go. I'm going to go Elevate. I'm sorry.
All right.
And then, so are we putting Darkest Muzan through, or are we putting Tompanai through to the final against Team Elevate? What are we saying here?
Tompanai.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, okay. There we are. Right, so we have a prediction. Who are we calling as the winner out of Elevate and Tompanai? Are we sticking with Elevate all the way through?
I want to go with Tompanai.
I do too.
Okay, right. Tompanai it is then. And we'll call that BV and H-Stars prediction. I'm not putting my name on that. There we go. Right, and I'll get rid of that. And guys, if you want to put your own predictions in, you can, and it should be quite good fun. I've not tried something like that before, and I've got no idea if it'll work or not. But let's We'll see how correct we are. We've got it as a record now. That'll be good. So what about? So we've done the predictions and all that. Anything? There's not really much else to say about it. It's fairly middle of the night-ish for us. Isha, is it a better time for you? The sort of the 2 a.m. UTC. Does that work for you in any way, or is that just terrible timing for you guys as well?
No, it's still. I mean, it's only 6 p.m. here, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. So it might be the world's timings might be a little bit better, but yeah, it's pretty rubbish for the UK.
Is that 2 p.m. UTC, right? So
no, 2 a.m. UTC.
Oh, okay. So
it's like, I don't know, like 10 o'clock your time at the start of it.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a late night. It basically just rolls through for us. It's brutal. Right, let's talk a little bit about Clash Champs then. For anyone that doesn't know, can you just explain to us, H-Star, what Clash Champs is?
Clash. I don't know. It's a kind of a hybrid of everything. We're start off as a website, then we built a nice, beautiful Discord community, and we're just involved all over with leagues and supporting various creators. But it started off as I was a very extremely competitive player. All the tools that I wrote for Clash of Clans are actually things I wanted for myself. They didn't exist, so I really just wrote it for myself. And it started off that I was, in my own clan, Illegal Elements, and I wanted to know who the best was in my clan. So, and Clash of Clans came out with the API. I was like, I'm just going to toy around with that, and I came up with my own algorithm on scoring my own players in my clan. I was like, let's make a tournament, system, and we had another clan that we were kind of like a sister clan that wanted to join in on it, but they didn't want to come over to our clan. But anyways, I said, you know what, you guys stay there. I'll grab your stats. I'll grab all your stats, and we'll see who's the best over a week or two. And wrote this awesome tournament system. We loved it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring this main stage to everybody, and I came up with the name Clash Champs. So we rolled that out in I think in July of 2017. Or that's when I started coding. It took me like 4 months to code it. And then, rolled it out in like October or so, and just kept working on the tournament system. And then the recruiting side of Clash of Clans, nobody really knew a good way to recruit people. So I wrote a recruiting tool for that. And I remember I made like one of my very first YouTube videos, and I tagged Clash of Clans on it, not even thinking anything of it. It was like a terrible video because, when you start off any kind of video, you're terrible at it. It might have been first or second one, and I tagged Clash of Clans on it. The next day, I'm sitting there at work, and then I'm just getting dings after dings, and I go look at my video, and it's like going up, 2,000 views every minute, and it was just taking off. I was like, what is happening? And I didn't realize they didn't they put it in the game. At the same time, they tagged my website on the news inside the game and crashed my website for hours. And they actually tweeted me, and they're like, oops, sorry about your website, because they just sent so much traffic my way. So that was kind of like, when you get your first break of, somebody you really respect, like Clash of Clans or the people behind it, and, whether they like it or retweet or even being put inside the game, it's huge. And it makes you just want to, it gives you this endurance just to do more and to keep building more. And since then, we came out with the bases and a bunch of other tools. We have like, phone notifications when it's time to go to war, and we started integrating with Discord all over. And then, Clash School eventually came out because, I wanted coaching, and there wasn't any coaching out there for Clash of Clans. So every tool that I ended up building was because it didn't exist or something I wanted for myself. So I just went out there and did it. But, none of this could have happened if I didn't build, the staff behind it. We got Ice Queen's like my right-hand person that just really helps run the websites. She's amazing. Bradders has been there the whole time as far as educating me on, he was the first one that came to Clash Champs right in the very beginning and educated me on leagues. I didn't know anything about leagues. I realized how big Discord was at that time, how many different communities. Yeah. So I would say, those two have been pillars and, building the Clash Champs what it is today. They've been, stuck by my side from the very beginning, and we just continue to, build tools and evolve. And now we're just, really all over right now. We're very much into the pro bases and building those, and I think we have that down streamlined. And I don't know, we're a very well oiled machine, just constantly just building stuff. And we have some private projects right now we're working on that hopefully this year we'll be able to roll out. So we're super excited about those. And then since then, I've came on to AMG. So I've really had to.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, go for it. Tell us about AMG.
Yeah, so that one actually, miraculously kind of fell in my lap. I've always had mad respect for AMG. I've always, as you know, it's like a lot of the people that are involved, the people who are behind it. We all have mad respect for the creators behind it. And they're solid businessmen, and they're the best professionals you can get in our industry. And to be able to because of all the hard work that I put into Clash Champs, it gave me the opportunity to do what I do for AMG now. And by chance, Clash with Ash, Tim had come to me by a reference of judo to talk to me about Amazon Game On kind of thing, and to work with Clash Champs and doing some kind of sponsorship. And he just asked about me and in my past, and I told him everything I did, and he was like, "Holy moly!" He was like, we need somebody exactly like you for the projects we're trying to build right now. So next thing I knew, I was actually thrown into a chat with Powerbang, which I had mad respect for, and it was funny too because I wasn't even video chatting anybody at the time, and I did an audio chat with Tim, and the next thing I know, I'm thrown on a video chat with Powerbang. And I have like kid toys all behind me. I've been coding all day. I had to shower all day. I look terrible. And there I am in an interview with AMG. And I was like, oh my God. And then we had just, talked for weeks, but I was not prepared to go into like a first interview with them. But obviously it worked out. And I would say that one of the things I love being at AMG is that everybody is so positive. And you feel okay if you're having a bad day. You could say this is what's going on, and everybody kind of lifts you up. And it's kind of like what it should be. You just have so much energy to want to be part of something bigger than ourselves, and it's amazing. It feels like home, and I feel like eventually I'm going to quit my daytime job and be on that full time. So it's I have nothing better to say than it's amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. While you were speaking there, Gaz Tom was gifted a sub. We got a follow from LOL13HDF, thank you for that. And BV tried to steal your thunder. As you started talking, he went and subbed. So thanks very much, man.
Well, I was doing nothing,
Yeah. Hey, it's a productive use of your time. It's perfect. So Agester, the two main things I think that Clash Champs are known for now are the Clash Champs brand. I know you've got Clash Schools almost as a separate thing, and we can talk about that as well, but you've got like the base building, and then you've got the sort of the clan boost side of things, or the clan recruitment element, isn't it? That's sort of the two elements. There's not many people doing advertising clans, sort of jumping on that, but there's loads of base building servers out there at the moment. Yours is one of the only websites. Do you think that gives you like a bit of an edge, or have you found that there's more competition now? Is it changed from what it used to be? I don't really know what I'm asking.
It's a different world. When I got into it, there wasn't. We were always known for the public side of the bases. We were the very first website to have a place you can go and download bases, and so we were known for the base scene. And then there was a lot of, I guess, people under the scenes that were selling bases when it wasn't legalized. For quite a while, it was illegal to sell bases, and it wasn't until Supercell legalized it, then we went out there and did the right way, and started selling it through the website, and wrote the whole thing where it's you don't have to wait on anyone. It's we always have pro bases in inventory, and you can jump on it and buy something, and if it's inventory, you get it right away. But what I didn't realize is that when I was recruiting builders, that the communities themselves, a lot of people kind of stick to their own cultures or groups. And so if you try to recruit like a certain builder, you didn't realize they didn't get along with another builder. And so it was like a whole eye-opening scene that I had no idea about. So very early on, I said, you know what, Bradders, you pick your builders. Like he knew exactly, he knows everybody in the competitive scene. I was like, I want you to pick people that you get along with, like with any kind of work culture. So, so I learned very quick to, leave that kind of stuff up to him. But it's massive, and there's so many different pro-based businesses that are popping up all the time. But I feel that our customer service is the best there is out there, that we do everything in our power to ensure that the customer's happy. I don't ever want somebody to feel that they bought something and it didn't live up to the hype. So as you know, any base out there can be 3-star. So very often, it's easy for a customer that doesn't understand the meta or doesn't understand that while your base might get 3-star, it might defend, 20 times in a row after that. But we do everything in our power to try to educate the customers that come through us. We're really trying hard to really get to be known more in the competitive Clash World side. We have a lot of amazing builders that have been on the stage or have built bases for some of the top teams in the world that have won. So we're just trying to get that image out there a little bit more than us, trying to, just from casuals, buying through us that might not understand the competitive side of things.
Cool. What about future plans? You said you had a couple of projects. What about Clash Champs Cup? Are you going to do another one of them?
I don't know. That was it was our very first tournament, and it was awesome that we went out there and we got sponsored by Supercell, that they backed us up. Not having we had a lot of people who had ran tournaments, and but a lot of things you got to come up with the first time, just different thumbnails and rules, and setting up just the whole organization is a ton of work, and it's extremely stressful if you have never done that, especially when you have a lot of other things going on, because it needs a lot of attention, because you have a ton of the best players in the world that they don't have a lot of the teams don't have patience. They're used to being organized. So if I were to run it again, I would definitely bring in probably more people, just make it more streamlined, and probably more things. I love automating everything. So I would probably go through the website and have where teams sign up automatically. You got questions answered right then and there. Just a lot more fluid kind of approach.
Cool. I like that. Vale, sorry man, you've been sat there. You have been typing, and as Beardo says, I noticed when he wrote that you had a wee smirk on your face. You have done a very good job of maintaining eye contact while typing. That proper touch typing thing going on there. Let's talk about Twitch and YouTube content creation. I think let's start off with the main one, and I don't know. Yeah. You've been streaming a little bit, so you did. Let's put this in a bit of context. Did you do 9 months straight where you streamed every single night?
It was something like that. It was 8-9 months, something like that. Yeah.
So it was like an epic amount of time. But you've sort of dropped off on the streaming a little bit less recently. Why? Why is that? Tell us about that.
You, Mac. It's hard to do with you, Mac. No, so I suppose there's a few different reasons, really. One is that, I don't know, maybe you could call it a little bit of burnout from doing it every day over and over again. It doesn't give me time to do anything else. So, I'd committed myself to and made it my routine to get home from work, have a nap, have something to eat, then get on stream for a few hours, then go to bed and rinse and repeat. And it left no room for anything else at all. So I took one day off just as I don't know, kind of like call it like a mental health break, if you like, so you can just recharge your batteries and chill. And that was fine. Took that one day off, came back on again for another week or so, and I guess that sort of made me realize that it's actually okay not to stream every single day. So I've not streamed for a good week and a half now, and most of the reason for that is because, touching on YouTube that you mentioned, I've been working a lot on building up my YouTube channel. So I've gone from doing daily streams to daily YouTube uploads instead. So I've swapped one burnout habit for another. But yeah, honestly, really enjoying YouTube. It's not the same as Twitch. You don't have that amazing viewer interaction that you get with the guys in chat. And don't get me wrong, I'm not giving up on Twitch, but I just want to try and grow that YouTube channel. And I suppose one of the other reasons is that I'm just trying trying to make something of this content creation side of things. And as good as Twitch is, unless you're, I don't know, a hot tub streamer or Tim the Tap Man, you're not going to make a living from streaming. It's not going to happen. So, you know, and I'm not one of those. No one wants to see me I mean, maybe you do want to see me in a hot tub. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is if you don't try it, you don't know. But yeah, I think I kind of agree with you that possibly you'd maybe need to maybe hot tubs aren't the way to go.
Yeah, YouTube just feels like it's kind of a change of direction. It's not quite a 180, but it's like a 45-degree veer off into doing another form of content creation that I can sort of work alongside Twitch, just with a really dialed down Twitch schedule. And yeah, like I say, that's mainly the reason for it. So it's not that I've fallen out of love with Twitch. I still love all the guys who come and watch my streams whenever I do get on. I love the competitive side of the game as well. But, you know, I'm just trying something a little bit different and seeing where that takes me.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. I think YouTube is we chatted about this in DMs, it's such a brutal grind at first, isn't it? Where you put a lot of time and effort into a video and you're really happy with it and you're like, it's a good video. If only people would watch this. And then you get like hardly any views and you're just like, oh man, and it is just getting the YouTube algorithm to just trust your channel and trust that people want to see it, and it will come. But it's slow.
That's the difficult thing, though, isn't it? So to get the YouTube algorithm to trust you, you've got to get viewers to watch you. And it's a chicken and the egg kind of thing, isn't it? So until the algorithm picks you up and accepts you, people aren't going to see your videos.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to watch them? You do a lot of promotion yourself. And I mean, you follow me on Twitter. I mean, you haven't liked any of my posts, but I'm sure you meant to around the videos that I'm putting out there. So yeah, I've got, like I say, I'm doing daily uploads. I've done a couple of giveaways, and one thing that is super encouraging for me, and not just because of selfish reasons, but I seem to have got quite a lot of followers looking at my analytics from India now, which is, and YouTube's massive in India. I think you know that, and I think everyone knows it. It's huge over there, and it's their preferred platform for content creation. And you know, I feel like if it can keep going that way, if the number of viewers in India keep going up, then who knows? Maybe I could crack it. Maybe one day I could be actually a household name in Clash of Clans circles. Let's face it, as big as the likes of Carbon and Judo are. If you get someone who's never heard of Clash of Clans, they've never heard of those guys. So, but yeah.
Mate, it's the dream that I think. So Gaz Tomo's here as well, another sort of fair to middling content creator. It's like I think there's a wee group of us are all in a similar position that I think you're right. If you're not live on Twitch, you don't grow. Thank you for the follow. Perfect timing, Hades. But if you're not live, then you're not growing. It's very difficult to be discovered. The beauty of YouTube is that you get there. Like your video's out there. Once it's out there, it's out there. And so, yeah, they might not watch it immediately, but like one of my most viewed videos is a video on how to use Band. Band is an app that my clan used to use ages ago, and it was a guide for the people in my clan on how to click buttons. It's absolutely terrible. It's one of the worst videos. It's got picked up by something, maybe because the only person in the world that ever made a user guide on Band. And there we go. Champman, thank you for gifting the sub. I like this, when you're bored, they just gift subs and sub yourself. I'm liking this. This is good juice. Thank you, man.
Next time you ignore me, I'm going to gift 1,000 bits. I'm not really.
Okay, right, okay. So, like, chatting to Agester now. I'm joking. So, one of the things you've been doing on your channel, BV, you've been teaming up with Clash School. You had Carbon Finn on. We were just chatting about that before. How I'll be honest, I was a little bit gutted when I saw that you had him, because I was like, man, he's not going to want to do a chat with me. He's not going to want to come on this if he's just chatted, which is totally fine. And so, brilliant interview, great fun getting to promote Clash Queen. You've done a few more of them as well. Have you got any more plans? Have you got any more big names coming on? Do you want to talk about that a bit? How did that happen?
I've got nothing planned in at the moment. I'm going to be speaking to Ice Queen at some point in the not too distant future about, we have had a conversation about getting some other people on for interviews, but I won't give anything away just in case it doesn't come off. I don't want to end up looking foolish, but yeah, I mean, we've done interviews with Carbon Finn, which was, as you've mentioned, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I've actually had a Clash School, well, more than one. I've had three Clash School lessons with Carbon Finn already myself. So it's not my first time having a one-on-one chat with him, but it's my first time when I've not been paying him to talk to me. And yeah, he's such a nice guy, even when the camera's not rolling. Really, really cool guy. And finding out stuff about him, it's super interesting. It was a good opportunity, of course, to talk about Clash School, which I can't talk about it as an employee because I don't work for them. Obviously, I've got my affiliation or partnership with Clash Champs, so I'm Clash Champs to the core. I've got my jersey on. I actually bought a pro base yesterday from them for the war that we had today.
Did you use code Mack?
No,
just
I used
checking.
Big Vale.
No,
So
okay, just checking.
10% back.
I'm only joking.
Fiddling the system, mate. But yeah, Clash School. I've never had a direct affiliation with it, but I know it's I suppose a sister company or a part of Clash Champs, and so it's by default I want to support it. And I love what they do. Of course, I've used them myself a few times. I've recommended them to a few of my clanmates and a few people that I know throughout the game to book in a lesson if they've been struggling. And yeah, I mean, it was easy to do interviews to endorse something that you actually believe in. So, having Carbon on there and having even Maxi and Full Frontage, who are the three people that I have interviewed for it, that level of sort of star power added to it just helps to shine a light on how great it is and the opportunity that you get to speak to people like these. And these are like top tier content creators in their field. So, well, I mean, Maxi, he's part-time content creator, full-time player, isn't he? But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, Isha, tell us a little bit about Clash Go. We touched on it earlier on. Just give us the sales pitch of what it is. Is there anything that Big Vale hasn't touched on there?
I have a ton of ideas that I wanted to do with Clash School. It was really just to, it started off just, finding people who are, amazing at the game, and then also have a really good communication skills, and can sit down, and teach you how to play the game, understand the latest meta, whatever it is. But it can, even for me, when I was extremely competitive, I wanted somebody I could go to and pay them and know that, I'm going to get an amazing experience out of it. So it all started from just, rounding up some of the best players in Clash of Clans. And, it started off, trying to recruit people to do this. It was a little bit difficult in the beginning because you didn't have pro players that were streaming and whatnot. So a lot of it was finding, streamers or YouTubers like Carbon Finn, for example. He's not a professional player per se, but he understands the game better than 99.9% of anybody. He's there, testing the game when Clash Clans is developing different ideas. He's part of the entire process, and so again, he's not a pro player by any means, but he understands the game better than anyone. And there's not been a single person that's ever walked away from a lesson with Carbon Finn and said, that I want my money back or anything like that. They all surreal experience. So our objective from the beginning was just to find people where you could have that experience across the board. So we're, always expanding out into other games, and we're really hitting the mobile scene hard, and then eventually we're going to start doing PC side as well.
Because so it's not just Clash. You've got mobile games in there. You've got content creation advice as well. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and it's really nice sort of like feedback on how you're doing. We had who did I have on before that was talking? I think it was Bradders that was talking about his experience of coaching on Clash School. So yeah, and he really enjoys it as well. So there we go. We've kind of covered AMG already. I've got that next on my list. But we've kind of talked about AMG already. And I even had a question, Agester, about what game are you most excited about this year, and you've already answered that with the Age of Empires.
There's another one coming out though.
Okay, go for it. Tell us about it.
I think it's made by a different company, but it's the sequel. I don't know if you ever played the Left 4 Dead series. So there's another one that's called like Back for More or something like that, but it's still like the Left 4 Dead.
Right, okay.
I was really big into that one too. It's just a great one to jump on with 3 other buddies at night, and grab some drinks and sit there and just take out zombies. It's a great one.
What about you, Vale? What other games do you play at the moment? I've got loads of people been talking about Warzone in here.
Yeah, I mean, I play Warzone. So after I finish doing whatever I do, YouTube or streaming, whichever I choose, then I'll go on to Warzone, bang that out for a couple of hours. I also maybe play on Dying Light, which is another pretty cool game. It's basically like a zombie survival game. So definitely recommended. And I think the sequel to that's coming out at the end of the year. But ideally, I'd love it if they just release a new Command and Conquer. That's all I really want. I just want a new Command and Conquer game.
Do you know the game that I want? The game that I want to happen. I want Tenchu. Do you ever play Tenchu?
Elf Assassin.
It was like a ninja game. Yeah. Oh, it was so good, man. And I just want them to bring it in. Hades has asked about 1 million times. We are moving on to viewers' questions, so let's go for it. Hades wants to know, Big Vale, how do you like Inferno Drag hits? How he likes.
So he's asking how I like his Inferno Drag.
Oh, his. I had the chat slightly covered.
So there's two answers I can give to this. So one is when I'm doing it with Dragon Riders in YouTube videos that you should definitely go and watch. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
When Hades does it, it's just so dull. Like I've had him so many times. Like I always hosted those Tuesday night 1v1s that Clash Champs have actually sponsored for the longest time actually. So he would always enter into them, and he'd always make it to either the first place spot or somewhere near it by just spamming Inferno Drags. That's all he would ever do, and I was this close to banning him from using Inferno Drags, but yeah, I thought better of it. But yeah, Hades, stop it, man! Just stop doing it. You don't need to rely on skill, not spam.
So, chat, we are going to be doing viewers' questions now, so if you can throw any questions you've got in the chat. I've got a couple that people have sent in already. So, we've got from Bradders, Aisha, we'll start with your one from Bradders. We've got, first of all, he's asked, can he have a gold pass? And then he said he was joking, but he did write it down, so I don't think he's joking. I think he's a poor pro player there that needs a gold pass. But this serious question for you is, how do you balance taking on more than 3 people can eat?
It's tough. Well, the gold pass thing is hilarious. I can't tell you how many times I get DM'd every day.
I felt quite honoured. I got one the other day. Someone tweeted me asking for $1. I was like,
yeah, I got someone asking me for $7.
That's an unusual amount.
For a $7 gift card. I was like, can you even get $7 gift cards?
Sorry, I cut you off. Go for it, man.
No, I'll tell you the one thing that's kind of it's kind of sad is I'm actually getting a lot of the stories from India of people's families struggling with COVID and asking for money, and that kind of tugs at my heart.
Yeah.
So, I've been getting a lot of those lately, but
for a gold pass is a different feel.
Yeah. So it's gone from gold pass to that, a lot more lately. It's hard, man. I don't know if you guys know, we probably have between builders and coaches and staff, we're around 40 people. And then we also, have a ton of different creators that are supporting us or that are contracted with us. But I mean, every first of every month, we pay out, 80 to 100 people. So it's nuts how much we're growing every month and expanding. But between that and Clash School and other private projects that we're working on, and then AMG, it's nuts. But I'm just delegating as much as I can and hiring staff. I have no choice but to do that. But yeah, it's nuts, man. Every day I feel like I'm running around with my head cut off and getting on to only half the DM. So I'm sure a lot of people think that oh, Agester doesn't even reply to me. I'm like, man, you have no idea how many people are DMing me.
Right, one for Brothers for you, Big Vale. When will the Mongers Clash Champs 3-way be? I think it's maybe that you're missing the third team.
No. What it is, it's so we've had So we've had 2 wars so far: Warmongers versus Clash Champs.
Ah,
So Clash Champs won the first one. We won the second one. And I would say partly because of this, but he didn't triple, but he did defend, I think. I got Rigo Torres to play for Warmongers for us that night. So I really wanted
nice.
to win.
Hey, if he's on your roster, he's on your roster. I mean, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
The esports scene's a fickle beast.
Exactly. And yeah, we've been trying to set up a third match for a long time, but he's always like too busy. Or I mean, you could translate that to scared. Obviously, you know, we've beaten them once. We're going to beat them again, of course, because Warmonger's OP. And yeah, I mean, we've just been trying to set it up. I've also been trying to set up an interview with him for Clash School, but again, busy, Bradders. So Bradders, if you're watching this back, send me a message, man. DM me.
Happy days. Ice Queen, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I messaged Ice Queen earlier on and she was like, I might be asleep. I was like, fair enough. We've got a couple of questions in from Kronk as well. He was here at the beginning. I'm not sure if he's still here. But H, we've kind of covered this one already, but what's the next thing? You've got loads of things on. What's your next thing that you're working on with Clash Champs and Clash School? I suppose that's quite a difficult one because you might not be ready to announce it, but
yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to keep those private.
Yeah.
I wish I could reveal it. I would say you know, I'll give it a hint. We have some major things happening with recruiting down the line. I can give a hint on. So we're really excited about that. But you know, Ice Queen tell you we have so many different things right now. We're you know, we've brought in contractors and we're developing new projects, and we're just really taking any kind of you know, any kind of profits and reinvesting. So yeah, I'm just super excited. It never stops. And I wish I could tell you with the AMG stuff, but all that's NDA. So
nah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. What so do you have a job in addition to AMG Clash Champs? Did you say you because you mentioned that earlier, said give up the day job? Is this all additional stuff on top of a day job?
Yes. So all this other stuff is on the side. Yeah. So during the day, I'm actually a coder. I work for the Department of Investment Services. I support like trading systems. And I've been doing that for 5 years, and 15 years before that, I actually coded scratch off lottery tickets. So I used to code these lottery tickets and play out the games like Pac-Man, Slingo, Bingo, Tic-Tac-Toe. And I was a senior audit programmer, and I would manipulate lottery tickets and run it through my code to make sure it caught it, like, you know, mistakes and stuff.
Make sure the odds were all right and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't even play. They're like, yeah, you can't play. You know how everything works.
Well, that's mental. I genuinely thought that with the AMG and the Clash Champs and everything, I thought that was your two sources of income going on there. So that's awesome.
Eventually, it's going to be all Clash Champs and AMG. That's my goal, my life.
Yeah.
You know.
BV, what about you then? What's your day job? I know this already, but it's just popped up into my head. Tell the audience.
So yeah, I work for a telecoms company doing project management. So I'll introduce new products, design new processes and products, without giving too much away because there's NDA involved in that too. But yeah, so there's also bringing on certain high-profile customers into the company that I work with as customers. So I can't really give too much away, but yeah, it's basically project management.
I like that. Project management's nice and vague and kind of works. It's good for a title. What do you do at project management? I mean,
technically, I'm actually a spy.
Oh, well, also cool. I like that. Wait, we'll get your face blurred out. That was that's why we couldn't have Lando's face on, because he was a spy. That's when I had Lando on. A question from Crunk here for you, BV. We've got, will we see another Big Vale Invitational this year? And he's also asked about a collaboration dual war commentary stream with me and you, which he clearly didn't see the time that I was on the Big Vale Invitational and co-commentated with you. Although I don't know how much commentating I did. I kind of just trolled you while you commentated, I think.
Well, apart from when your camera broke and you had to restart, that was brilliant, Mac. Thanks for that.
Have you seen that? I've got it here. I've decorated a little bit. There's the freeze emote. That's when my camera froze. There we go. Sorry, go for it. What the question did I ask you? Yeah, Big Vale Invitational. Incredible success, man. Did the success of that sort of catch you out?
Yeah, well, not really, actually. The first one was a surprise. So the first one I went into with the mindset that I'm going to create a tournament for my community. So the people that come to my streams, I'd try and get a couple of big teams in there as well. But basically, the people that came to my streams, because they're all like sort of semi-pro players, you'll get them playing for some of the not elite teams, but the likes of Betatron, who are really strong in their own right. Of course, this is not meant in disrespect to them, but they're not like, I don't know, Space Station or anything, are they?
Yeah.
But teams like that to get in and compete with sort of like-minded teams of that sort of skill level. And I got a few decent teams involved. I think probably the best ones that got involved were probably Silent Snipers, Space Station Gaming, and Darkest Busan. I think they were probably the best teams that we had at the time. So the first season, it was pretty good. It set the groundwork. It was only a $500 cash prize as well for the winner. The second season, though, I kind of expected it to be as big as it was, just because of the teams that I had in there. So I completely upped the ante, and we had Tribe, we had MCES, we had Darkest Musan, we had HT Family, 11 Original. We had all the big names in there, and it was comparable to any of the big community tournaments that are out there. Prize pool of it was $1,000, which I had to fund myself because I don't know how to get sponsors. I've got no idea where to look, and I figured, well, you know what? If I'm going to be streaming all of these wars myself, I'm getting a lot of content out of this, so I'm willing to put that money into the game and put it into the community and try and further the esports scene. So it felt like a win-win, given I was getting something out of it, and so was the community too. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it went really well. As for season 3, there's nothing in the works at the moment. I have been having conversations, I haven't spoken to him for a bit, Hoop to Clash. Me and him are planning on doing something together, but we don't know what yet. So we haven't got to that point yet. So we've talked about it like twice. And as far as I know, we're still doing something, but yeah. And as for a collaboration, Crunk, yeah, absolutely. Of course, I'd love to go cast with Mack. It was an absolute pleasure last time, as ridiculous as his computer is. I take it you've got a new one by now, Max, since you've not cut out yet.
Do you know what? It's the same computer, but I built this PC myself. So I started off on a laptop, as all streamers I think do. Start off and going, oh, turns out that this computer is not fast enough, and then you end up building a PC. And I don't think when I built it, it was quite right. So it's had some teething issues, but it's now pretty settled in. It's looking pretty comfortable now. So yeah. Yeah, Putty's blaming you for jinxing me now. Just waiting for the crash. Daniel Bassey, thank you for the follow, man. I've missed a few follows in there as well. But thank you for the follows, guys. Anyone else have any questions? I am at the end of my questions. I don't know if you guys have got questions for each other.
I have a question for both of you.
Okay, here we go. Go for it. For both of us is always scary.
First, but I want to know, if you could make one change to Clash of Clans, what would it be?
One
you go first, Mac.
I'll go first. I would love, and I know this is not a popular one, but I think this shows my skill level. In fact, no, I've got two changes. I've got one gameplay one, and then I've got one. Right, so I'd love to have Legends League where you could have like 1 or 2 armies that you could select. I know that a lot of Legends League players don't like that concept, but because of where my skill level's at, the amount of times that I hit a base, I'm like, it's a ring base. I don't want to hit with this strategy. I want to hit with someone else. That'd be quite handy from my low skill level. And the second one is, and I put this on the forums years ago and it was ignored because it's not a very good idea. I want to be able to name in game my heroes. So my king is called Chuck Norris. Okay, that's his name. And I just think it would be cool if you clicked on the player's base, that it came up instead of saying king above their name. It floats around. It says it just wandered around. It just said Chuck Norris. I don't know. That'd make me happy.
Yeah,
it's not very good.
I like that idea, but I know just being part of the Supercell program, that it sounds like a mad headache right away trying to filter out names and
and the inappropriate names and all that sort of stuff, and just
went away just trying to monitor. It was
Vale's still thinking that he's scratching his chin.
I think I've got a few.
Go on,
So,
I had two, so you can have a couple. Go for it, mate. You don't have to pick just one.
There's the old classic, why can't we use heroes while they're down for a friendly challenge or a friendly war? Because it's just annoying, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, friendly challenge especially.
I know there's like technical reasons why you can't, and it's the way the game's been built, from what I understand. But I mean, come on, fix it, guys. Because I'd love to be able to do more FCs and not have to gem my heroes up just to do them. I mean, granted, I'd probably give Supercell a lot of money because of that, but that's not the point. You know, it feels like to me like you should have the heroes up, you should have everything because it's not a live attack. Another one, which is an unpopular one, I want a new builder base level because 2 days ago, I finally maxed out all my walls on the builder base. After 2 years after Builder Hall 10, I think it is, was released, I finally maxed it out. Now I want something to do on it.
I think it's at its end game now. I think they've said that they're not.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We've got a question here from Light Prince. It's got a good question here. Who do you feel is the best attacker in Clash of Clans? That is a tough one, and the best clan. So you can pick Clasher or clan. Which do you think?
I'll go with Klaus.
Okay.
I'm going to go with one that's a little bit of an outsider. He may not be the best, as in he's the most consistent, but he's the one whose hits, whenever I cover their wars, I'm always most excited to see him hit. It's Queen Charge Leo from QSFN.
Okay.
And the guy is just ridiculous. Like, his Queen Charge Lolo is, I mean, honestly, it even makes Nick from Space Stations Luke... Well, actually, nothing makes Nick's Luke ordinary, but it's definitely very comparable with Nick's. The guy is super versatile, and yeah, he does the craziest hits. Such a good player.
Potty Rose is the best attacker according to Beardo Beast, which, I mean, he might have a point. Apparently, she carried you in the war that you were just in, BV.
Yeah, she got her first 3-star in months today, and thank God as well, because I got a really bad 2-star in my war attack. So yeah, it's just as well she got the triple.
Nice. I think my favourite attacker to watch, once again, I'm not sure if he's the best, but Remio in the MC.
Yeah.
It's definitely saying his name wrong as well, probably. But Remy in MCS, I just know that it's going to be really creative, really different, and I have a really good chance of 3-starring when you see them play. It's so cool. Yeah. He's like one of my favourite. MCS, I love to stream them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got any other. We've got people saying Lalo23, Jojo. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure if we've got any other attacks. I think any other questions. Sorry, I think we might be there, which I think is fair enough because we have gone over time. BV, did you have a question for Agester? Because Agester asked you a question.
I did have one in mind. I've forgotten it. Oh. Yeah, now I've remembered it again. I've remembered it. So obviously we've got 4 heroes in the game, haven't we? And this isn't going to be like which hero do you like identify as, because I don't want to know that. But which of these 4 heroes would you say is the strongest? So which one is the best of the 4 heroes in your mind, Agester?
I'd go the Queen all day long.
Yeah. Okay. That
is one of these questions that proper splits people. Which is the best hero?
Because
I'm answering as well.
You have to take into account before you answer that, you know, you've got different merits to each of them. So I know why H has gone with the Queen because of how versatile she is. She's got the range. You can whack some healers on her and she will crush like 50% of her base.
That's right.
But then, you know, you've got that mega tank in the King. You've got the RC that just goes wherever she wants over the walls into the core. And that Warden, without a Warden, your Lalo would... I don't know if you Lalo, but if you did...
I think for me, any attack, especially maybe not as much at Town Hall 14 because you're forced to take the Town Hall out in a different way. But the Warden was the hero that I wouldn't farm without at Town Hall 13 because whenever you're going through that Town Hall, you knew that the blast would kill any of your troops unless you had the Warden there. And so the poison has slightly changed that, but I think the Warden for me is... RC is my favourite hero. But I think the Warden's more important. RC's kind of like, she's strong, but she's kind of, you use her on cleanup, so if you don't have her, especially for farming, it's not as important. That's kind of, pets is the new question though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, as far as pets go, I used to think the owl was the most pointless pet in the world until I
So
started doing
strong.
air attacks. But
Yeah.
now it's the last man standing, isn't it? That thing, wow. It's like having a mini E-drag just following everything around. Yeah, I'm converted. I like the owl now, but yeah, if I was to say my favorite pet, ooh, it's got to be yak or unicorn. I'm torn between the two of them.
I
I
think
don't know which
owl
one I
for
pick.
me. I love the owl, but yeah, owl's a bit pointless on a ground attack. It tends to die off really quickly. But yeah.
Yeah.
Ishtar, sorry man, have you got any opinions on pets? Do you like the addition of pets?
I've only played them like during the when Supercell came out with them behind the scenes, and we got to test them and stuff like that. But beyond that, my town hall goes up to 11, so I haven't played with the highest levels yet. But no, I mean they're awesome, but I haven't been playing as much lately.
I love what Supercell have done. I think it's just if you think about back when it's kind of around about the time that Tencent took over, and or had a not took over, but had a big proportion of the company, and this move towards being creative, being a little bit more risky, bringing in the skins, the packs, all that sort of stuff. That just actually, I think it's all been really good for the game, and from a content creation point of view, the fact that they completely mess up the balance. And as you know, BV, the Dragon Riders are so OP at the moment that you can put out numerous videos about how strong they are. That's really exciting. I just think it's great from a content creation point of view, and I just love it. So it's cool.
I agree. I mean, Clash of Clans. I don't think I'm being unfair in saying that probably 2-3 years ago, it was going a little bit stale.
Yeah.
I was not losing interest. I'd still play because it was more habit than anything. I didn't look forward to playing. I'd just log on, do my attacks, and pretty much log off again. Maybe I'd chill out in global for half an hour, and that'd be about it. But I think over the last couple of years, it's been absolutely phenomenal. It's not a completely different game, but it feels like they've put a renewed effort into it. They've changed direction with the development side, and I honestly can't say too much good stuff about Supercell right now. I think they're doing a fantastic job of not just keeping Clash of Clans alive, but making it go from strength to strength. This game is going nowhere for a long time.
Yeah.
Yep, I think another 5+ years easily. It's one of those it's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah. I think it already has stood the test of time, hasn't it? But yeah. Thank you once again, Chapman, for Agester for throwing in that gifted sub. Just to blast over the top of BV's words there. That was good. So
thanks, mate. Ask him a question, I'll give the sub.
Thank you so much for coming on. Absolutely brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to put this on YouTube, and what we'll do is we'll put a link, obviously, to BV's channel in there as well. So subscribe. This is for YouTube now. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Drop this video a like, and also go and subscribe to BV's channel as well. The daily video grind is so rough, man. So all the best with it. It's tough, but keep going. It does get better, says worldly wise me, who is on about the same number of views as you get every weekend, every video anyway. So it's but I think you just have to focus on the positives. Take those little wins, and when you hit a certain number of subs and all that, and it's just
mate, as long as you're having fun, it's worth it, isn't it?
Exactly.
As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters.
You guys are killing it. Got the great work.
Cheers, man. Cheers, man. BV Agester, thank you very much, and all the best. Cheers.
It's been a pleasure. Take care, everyone.
See you guys.